Yo, what's up guys, Hotboyzdigital finally back with a YouTube video. I know it's been a couple months since I posted anything, just got busy with life and stuff. I'm going to try really hard to get this YouTube thing going. I want to get consistent, post more, and hopefully give y'all guys at least one video per week. I'm going to try to get that goal for y'all. But with all that said, in today's video I'm going to be breaking down if the Cowboys are going to be able to make the playoffs this season. So let's get into it. So at the moment, the Cowboys set a record with 4 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. With the wins being against the New York Giants, the New York Jets, the Washington Commanders, and the Las Vegas Raiders. And the losses being against the Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Bears, Carolina Panthers, Denver Broncos, and the Arizona Cardinals. And with the 1 tie being against the Green Bay Packers. So with 10 games done plus the bye week, there are 7 more games left to be played. And the Cowboys will basically need to win out the last 7 games. In the last 7 games, the Cowboys played the Philadelphia Eagles at home, the Kansas City Chiefs at home, the Lions in Detroit, and the Vikings at home, the Chargers at home, the Commanders in Washington, and the New York Giants in New York. The brutal thing about this schedule is the Cowboys play the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Lions in the span of 11 days, which is crazy. It's gonna be tough. The Cowboys losing to Carolina and Arizona early in the season hurt them really bad because now you have no room for error. You have to win out, or maybe you could drop 1 game and end the season 10-6-1, but you need multiple NFC teams to win. You could even win out and not even make the playoffs. It's how the NFC is looking right now. So at the moment, the Cowboys are the 10th seed in the NFC, and they are in the playoff hunt. The Cowboys' best chance of making the playoffs is being a wild card team. They will not be winning the NFC East, at least in my opinion. The Eagles are going to take it. At least they completely fall off, like the end of the 2023 season, drop multiple games and just go on a massive losing streak. The Cowboys will not win it, which sucks. The Eagles are going to win the division again, back-to-back for the first time in like 20 years, which sucks to see because it's the Eagles. You never want to see that. So looking at teams in front of Dallas in the NFC, starting with the Carolina Panthers at the 9th seed. They sit with a 6-5 record with 6 more games left to be played with their bye week. They play the San Francisco 49ers, then the Los Angeles Rams, then they have their bye week, then they come back to play the Saints, the Bucks, the Seahawks, and then the Bucks for the last game. The Panthers did beat the Cowboys back in week 6 in an upset, so they have that advantage over Dallas. The Panthers are obviously better this season than everyone thought they were going to be, but looking back at the schedule, you're hoping they drop maybe 3 to 4 more games this season, which I think is very possible. I mean, they do not have an easy last 6 games. 49ers, Rams, Buccaneers, Seahawks, and the Buccaneers again. I mean, the one easy game they might have is against the Saints, but even then they lost to them earlier in the season. But let's just say they don't drop those games and they end the season 5-1 or 4-2. You just gotta hope the Tampa Bay Buccaneers start dropping some games because they're both in the NFC South, so they're both fighting for first place in the division. The Panthers are only just 1 game back, so it's not the end of the world if they win games. You just gotta hope the Tampa Bay Buccaneers start losing games too. So looking at the Buccaneers schedule now, they obviously have a more easier schedule than the Carolina Panthers with 7 more games being played. They play the Rams, the Cardinals, the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers twice, and the Miami Dolphins. After looking at the Buccaneers schedule, I think I trust the Carolina Panthers a little bit more to lose some games other than Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers may lose 1 or 2 games the rest of the season, maybe to the Rams and then to one of the Panthers games. Other than that, I think they win out. And then the Panthers, I think they lose a lot of their games. I just don't trust Bryce Young down the stretch. And next up, we have the Detroit Lions, who sit at the 8th seed at the moment. So looking at their schedule, they have 7 more games left, which they play the New York Giants, the Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys, the Los Angeles Rams, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Minnesota Vikings, and then the Chicago Bears. The thing with the Detroit Lions is they play in the NFC North, and right now the NFC North is stacked. They have 2 teams in the playoffs right now. If the season ended today, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, and the Lions are in the playoff hunt. So if the Cowboys can win all of their last 7 games, and the Lions are able to lose at least 2 of the games, obviously 1 to the Cowboys, that puts you ahead of the Lions. And then all you need is either Chicago Bears or the Green Bay Packers to drop 3 games. That would be huge. Hopefully it's the Packers because you have that tie with them. And obviously the Chicago Bears have an advantage over you because they beat you in week 3, I think. So first off, let's look at the Green Bay Packers schedule because they are the 6th seed. So looking at the schedule, they have 7 games left. They play the Vikings twice and the Bears twice. They also play the Lions, the Broncos, the Ravens. So what you're hoping here for is for them to lose at least 3 of the games, preferably NFC teams, just because if the Cowboys and Packers end up with the same record, and since they tied against each other early in the season, it'll go down to NFC wins and losses. So preferably NFC teams, but preferably if they lose 3 games anyways and the Cowboys win out, they take over. So looking at the Chicago Bears last 7 games, they play the Steelers, the Eagles, the Packers, the Browns, Packers again, the 49ers, and then the Lions. They did beat the Cowboys back in week 3, so they have that advantage over Dallas. They obviously have a more tougher schedule than the Lions and the Packers, but again, you need just two of those 3 teams to lose a couple games. The last 2 teams in front of Dallas in NFC are the 49ers, who are the 7th seed, and the Seahawks, who are the 5th seed. It's pretty much the same situation as the NFC North. The NFC West is pretty stacked. They have 3 playoff teams right now. They have 3 teams in the playoffs if the season ended today. Los Angeles Rams, which are leading the division. The Seahawks are the 2nd, and the 49ers are 3rd. I think the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams are locked for the playoffs. I think they both make it. The team I think is the weakest is the 49ers, so looking at their schedule, they have 6 more games left to be played. They play the Panthers, the Browns, and they have the bye week. Then they play the Titans, the Colts, the Bears, and then the Seahawks. So if the Cowboys can manage to win out, all you need is the 49ers to lose 2 games. But with all that being said, it starts with the Cowboys. The Cowboys need to go on a massive win streak. Starting on Sunday, they play the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Lions in a span of 11 days. If you could go 3-0 in that span, your chances are pretty high, because those 3 games are the most toughest you have left. You might be able to drop 1 game and still make it, but it'd be a little bit tougher. But if you drop 2 of those games, the season's gonna be over. The Cowboys looked absolutely amazing with the win over the Raiders on Monday, especially the defense. The Cowboys adding Quinyon Williams and Logan Wilson via the trade was huge, and then the Cowboys getting DeMarvin Overshown back and Shavon Revel back from injury at the same time was also huge. The defense looked like it improved a lot. I know it's just the Raiders, and a lot of people like to say that, but I mean, this defense has been letting up touchdowns, yards all season to bad teams. I mean, look at the Cardinals game. I mean, Russell Wilson carved them up. It's just the defense. The defense needed this to improve. I think they will keep it up. I think the Cowboys will barely make the playoffs this season. I have a good feeling about that. They are playing for Marshawn Nealon. I think that gives them an extra motivation to play for something, you know. But this is just all in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.